This administration tells us we don't need free speech. Happy New Year. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line, New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2022, the last day of the year. And of course, yesterday was the last trading day of the year, which ended up in a little bit of a beatdown. But of course, we will go into that in our market report. But interesting enough, of course, we've talked about this free speech item for many, many months. And of course, they continue to try to destroy it. And interestingly enough, we had MIT has created a free speech resolution. But what I find interesting is out of 150 votes, only 100 were for free speech, 50 were not. Now, again, I don't know what you're thinking, but I can see what this administration is trying to do and where this country is headed, and it ain't good, okay? Again, this is a president that has been a racist piece of shit forever, okay, for every year he's ever been in office. He has voted for every racist bill. He hates Israel, okay? Now he's got dementia and other people are running the country behind him. And yet we sit back and I don't understand why we as Americans continue to sit back and do nothing. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not a Republican. There is much criminal activity there, as we can see by the omnibus spending bill that just got pushed through. Okay, but you're seeing it right in front of your very eyes. I mean, you want to ask how a magic trick works? Just watch what's happening. Watch your cash disappear as interest rates are being driven to the moon. Okay, the yield curve is inverting. Okay, listen, the World Economic Forum cancels Twitter and directs followers to Chinese media. Now, do you want Chinese media running our country? Okay. Do you want a communist country running our country? Do we want communism here? Do we want Marxism here? Do we want socialism here? I didn't think that was the American way. I remember Superman, truth, justice, and the American way. I don't think this is the American way. I think this is shit. Okay. And I'm getting pissed off and tired. We'll get more of that in our commentary. Okay. But as we look back, you're seeing the effects of what has not yet been ruled a recession because, of course, the rules have been changed. But hotel occupancy rates down over 10% comparing to the last COVID-free year. Okay. You've got Las Vegas Visitor Information, which is my favorite place, but down 7% from the last comparable year. The traffic is down. Everything is down. Okay, so where are we going from here? Okay, well, again, when you continue to break the middle class, remember one thing. Okay, the middle class is the class that drives everything. Okay, the very poor, they don't care. Okay, they're getting the government subsidies, and the very rich, they benefit in times of trouble. It is the middle class that drives the economy. It drives competition. And yet, here we are eliminating the competition, trying to eliminate capitalism. And why? Okay, because it's too good? Because we live too good of lives here? Are we supposed to take our lifestyle down, okay, to another level because we've made it to a certain level? I don't think that is not the American way. That's not what I grew up believing. Okay, and free money does not combat inflation. It actually creates it. Okay, the more you see the free money train, the more people will spend it. Okay, we think that we can get away from these things by trying to borrow our way out of debt. Well, I can tell you that you can never borrow your way out of debt. It does not work. Okay. And the spending that is done, we don't have a debt problem, we have a spending problem, right? I mean, our government, both Republican and Democrat, spend like drunken sailors. Why? Well, because they got the American taxpayer that they can screw. Okay, why don't we take the money from them? Let them pay for all these bills. Okay, I mean, and of course you've now got, as we see the rise and the fall of some colossal fraud, and what do we really have here? I mean, what is this administration? What is the government today? It's a gigantic fraud. Okay, everybody's got side deals working. Everybody's got things going on elsewhere. Okay, and every big deal, every big bill, every deal made with a foreign country comes with a little payback. All right. Again, this is not news. I hope that you're not thinking that I'm making things up that don't exist. All right. This goes back to you can start with Hunter Biden, but you can go back a lot further than that. But again, we've seen and heard the proof. Unfortunately, nobody wants to do anything about it. All right. And of course, the very wealthy don't care if we go to socialism or communism or Marxism, because it will have no effect on them. You've heard the term oligarchs, okay, which are prevalent in Russia and China and other communist countries. Those are the ones who control everything. Is that what you want here? Okay. I mean, we have so many threats to our economy today that it is ridiculously scary that nobody cares. Okay. I mean, between the ridiculous price for oil of something we could produce ourselves, to the very fact that last Sunday, a football Sunday, okay, we have all this big drive for climate change and electric vehicles and all these things. And as I've said here repeatedly, I don't believe in climate change. You want to go to electric vehicles? Okay, listen, I'll go along. Okay, I don't agree, but you must give me a budget and how you're going to get there. So in the meantime, last Sunday, the Tennessee Titans playing the Houston, the Tennessee Titans are playing Houston, the Houston Texans. Okay, and what happens? Okay, well, guess what? They had to start the game later because we had that big cold snap, and their power wouldn't hold up, so they couldn't turn on the lights in the stadium. Okay. Now you're telling me that we're going to go all electric? Every president in my lifetime has promised to fix the infrastructure. So far, close your eyes. What do you see? That's how many have fixed it. Okay. But, look, we've got an oversupply of homes now. Okay. We've got interest rates that are going higher. And I'm telling you, this year, the 10-year is going to 6%. Okay. You've got auto loan rates. Now, this is always an interesting gimmick. Okay. Credit unions are offering lower finance costs. And why are they doing that? Well, because, of course, they want you to get deep in finance. All right. If you go back to the original, which was 90 days, same as cash. Okay. Get the borrower who thinks they can pay for it, who can't, and get them hooked. Okay. It's almost like dealing cocaine or heroin. All right. But, we've seen the push to get to digital currency, and we're hearing talk out of China right now, who's using a digital yuan. All right, and they're finding out that people aren't spending as much because they don't want to use it. People don't. People want some privacy. Okay, and what we're seeing is the destruction of our privacy, and the more control we give to government, okay, the less privacy that we're going to have. So you may love all the technology that you're playing for, but all you're doing is leaving a big footprint for government to mandate what you're going to do. So if you're happy with the destruction of your free speech and you're happy with this administration, hey, listen, I can't tell you how to think, okay? I can only tell you that the ramifications that are going to come from what we're seeing right now is going to be ugly. Okay, and it's not going to go away quite so quickly. Remember that when you dig in these very deep trenches, okay, it's harder to turn the boat around. We're not the United States we were in 1776, where you could get a very few. Now you've got billions. All right, so the whole problem here is the lack of real leadership, the lack of somebody to take control. Now, of course, listen, I don't blame anybody. I wouldn't want to be president either, okay? Because it's a shit job that gets abused constantly. But I do believe that we are headed in a really bad direction, from our education to our children, which is we only teach them one side. We don't teach them fiscal responsibility. What we should be teaching the children is how to be a libertarian. Okay, your own personal issues, do as you wish, but financially, everybody should be a fiscal conservative. In the meantime, it is Happy New Year. It is December 31st, and tonight you'll be celebrating. And we'll be back after the break with our market report. And of course, we have our commentary and our football picks, which are on in fuego. So we're going to step out here for a break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line, December 31st. We'll be right back after the break. Well, kids, it's another year, and another year I saved about $100,000 on commissions by using Tradier, because they're only $10 a month. And if you're not using Tradier, shame on you. I mean, it's your money. You know, as I always tell you, I've got many brokers. I've got them all. You can name them. But if you're using anybody but Tradier for any size of trading, you're nuts. Okay, and it's Tradier Brokerage. They're scrolling on the side. You can see their website, but you can auto trade with them. It's our stuff at no charge. Our hedging is a licensing fee, but our portfolios, which we just put out, brand new portfolios. Okay, but again, if you're happy, you're right. Listen, don't listen to me, but I'll save another $100,000 next year, which is nice to go in the retirement account. In the meantime, don't forget about Capital Trading Group as well, CTG, which is the best futures broker in the country. Okay, they have the best service. And let me just explain one thing to you. Okay, if you're using an equity broker to do futures, not a great idea. Okay, because A, you're paying more, your margins are higher, and they don't have the same service. Okay, look, I don't care if you go to CTG, but if you're going to trade futures, get a futures broker. Okay, in the meantime, Capital Trading Group, their website's also going on the side, and of course, don't forget about our high school program, which at this point, it's hard to give it away for free. I can't get anybody to teach anymore, so this may be the last year of the high school program, because again, how much work can I do when I'm paying for 90% of it myself? Okay, in the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. We're going to get back to our market report right now. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line for Saturday, December the 31st. And of course, the markets had a little bit of a rough week. Not a surprise. I mean, we started the year off rough. We ended up a little rough. But I think that the upcoming year, my forecast for the upcoming year does not bode well. Okay. I think that we're going to see the market's halved from here. Okay, and again, I could be wrong. Look, I don't ever want you to think that I can tell the future, because nobody can. Okay, but already we've got the money managers are out there telling everybody they're hopeful about the market. Why are they hopeful? Well, they're hopeful because they need you to be invested so they can get paid. Okay, they can get their commission. But in the meantime, as we look at markets, we are short the four major indices, and they were all down. Okay. And they got hammered pretty good yesterday as well. But again, listen, there's not enough action right now. And the fact of the matter is really we've been just in what we would call a wide sweeping consolidation pattern. We haven't seen any major trend follow through. So really, early in the year, we're going to see if these bottoms are going to hold, and we're going to go back, stay in this miserable consolidation pattern, or we're going to break to the downside. So we'll see. I mean, some markets are starting to break, and they're in the direction. And of course, the dollar index, which we're short, is lower. Okay, had a bad weekend, is getting hammered once again. Hence, the euro currency, which we're long, has been going higher. Okay, now, our year, just in general, just so you understand, our year was we didn't have a great year. We called it a mixed bag on a webinar the other day, because some things did very well and some things didn't do so well. But in the meantime, Bitcoin continues to be stuck between 15 and 18,000. We continue to be short. Bonds and notes, which are now short, got clobbered last week. And again, it's telling us what I tell you all the time. Rates are going higher. You cannot do what this imbecilic Federal Reserve is doing and expect that rates are going to go lower. Okay, so we are short bonds and notes. All right, gold and silver and platinum had a good week. Okay, they're all running higher. Platinum looks really good right now. And bottom line is my recommendation always is to have a certain percentage of your portfolio invested in precious metals. We are long across the board. But again, I think that you just have to be prepared for those. And copper, we're still long, which is, had a slightly down week. But listen, it's in a very tough pattern to trade overall. Nat gas got hammered and we're short. Crude oil rallied and we're long. And look, I think that crude oil has a chance to double this year. Okay, And I think that's something that you have to remember, keep in mind that, the Saudis are playing their little games right now. And who knows where we're going to go? Only the shadow knows. But we'll see how it breaks from here. In the meantime, grains, as I've said all along. Now, we were short for a while, and I didn't like it. Okay, and boom, they're popping. Okay, soybeans have broken out. Okay, they've officially broken up. Wheat came off nicely off the bottom, and corn is rallying. And I expect a lot higher prices. I really do legitimately expect dramatically higher prices next year. So we'll see. Again, I could be wrong. These are just projections of what I can see and what I understand about the supply-demand model. The protein complex, look, I think we're really stuck in bands, okay? Because we're going to get protein depending on your other parts of your budget, okay? We're long cattle and still short hogs. At the end of the day, I don't think it really matters. I don't think they're going one way or the other too far. And as we look at the softs, cocoa we're long, it was higher for the week. Sugar we're long was higher for the week. OJ was was higher for the week, we're long. Cotton was lower, we're short, and coffee was lower, and we're short that as well. So pretty good week overall. Again, but we really depend on the market trending. Okay, we need to get a consistent trend to go forward, not just these spurts, and they don't do us any good. Okay, so in the meantime, look, I'm going to say this once: protect your portfolio if you can. Invest money that you can afford, so that you don't have to sell. Because I guarantee you, if you sell because you have to, you're not going to like the prices you're getting. Okay? Own some gold, hedge your portfolio, make sure that you're protected. Okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm an American believer, and I believe that we will continue at that 8.5% year over year. It may not be this year, because I don't think it'll be this year, but like 10 years from now, I think we'll have averaged an 8.5% gain year over year. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Saturday. Not usually on Sunday. It is Saturday, December the 31st. Happy New Year. We're going to step out here for our final break and be back with my commentary and, of course, more valuable than anything, my football picks. Well, kids, Happy New Year to everybody. And again, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel of the sponsors, but you know them. They're on the side. Trader Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, and, of course, our high school program. Look, again, everything I do is I vet for you. Okay? I've done very well in my life. I've enjoyed a 44-year successful trading adventure, and I'd like to pass on that knowledge. I'd like to share what I learn with others. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary and football picks. Welcome back. It is the final Bubba's Bottom Line of 2022, and, well, what would it be without me bitching about something? And, I'll tell you what I'm bitching about today. I'm very unhappy. I hate this administration. Okay, I don't hate Democrats. I hate this administration. Okay, I think that they're thieving, conniving, trying to screw America. Okay, and I find it even more sad that so many people sit on the sidelines, unhappy that don't vote, don't do anything about it. And I think it's your right as an American and your obligation as an American. If you don't like what's going on, go to the voting poll. I'm not telling you to do anything against the law. I'm telling you to go to the voting poll. I mean, they're taking away our free speech. Okay? I just told you about a vote they had at MIT. 30% of the people didn't even vote for free speech. Do you want to give up free speech? Do you want to give up your freedom? Okay? Do you want to give up your ability to make more money than somebody else and become capitalistic? And listen, if you like giving away your money, you can donate it. Okay? But do you want to give that up? Do you want to squash competition so that we have to pay higher prices? It's up to you. Okay, it's a new year. Okay, and the politicians are going to start campaigning again. It's up to you to make the decision to save this country from itself. Because right now, between the omnibus spending bill and all the other bullshit, they're robbing us blind because we are the ones that are paying the taxes. And in 2022, the revenue was a record amount. Okay, in the meantime, it comes back down to you, and Happy New Year to all of you. And for those of you who stuck for the football picks, here we go. Okay, tonight, we like the two dogs, Texas Christian, TCU, and Ohio State. We actually like Ohio State to win the whole thing. Okay. Tomorrow, Sunday football, we like Tampa Bay over, I don't know how I can like Tampa Bay. We like Tampa Bay over Carolina, Minnesota over Green Bay. Okay. And that will do it for this week and for this year. To all of you, I appreciate your patronage. Happy New Year. May it be healthy, prosperous, and free. Bubba's Bottom Line, the last of 2022. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you later.